I teach women that failure is the currency to success, that failure is actually how you grow. And I unfortunately have been terrified for me to show myself failing. And it's not because I do not believe in what I teach. It's unfortunately because something was installed in me at a very early age that had me protect myself from being seen failing. Something that went deeper than any thought work, any methodology, any mindset work. I knew it in my head, but I didn't feel safe in my body. And it's been running my visibility, my business, my marketing, my income without my permission. Today, I'm going to tell you what it is, where it came from, and what it has been costing me because I cannot teach what I'm not willing to live and show. So, as a child, I was taught that failure, doing something wrong, making a mistake was going to be painful and I would be hurt and punished for it. It would be used against me as a child. It was dangerous. I can just go on stories like one time I turned this guy down and he sent a girl to slap me. It was dangerous because I could not be allowed to fail and own my own truth. And we can go on and on about stories about how we were punished as children and how it was used against us. I was blamed for other people's consequences. And so I learned at a really young age that I had to mitigate that, that I was not allowed to let myself fail or let other people fail or be seen failing. Mistakes were not acceptable. So I learned that I had to look capable. I had to look on the surface like I had it all figured out. I had to learn how to manage how other people saw me, other people's perceptions of me. And it was exhausting. And I'm sharing this because I see it with my clients all the time. The clients learned that they cannot show their mistakes, that they cannot be vulnerable, that they have to show this perfect, finished version of them. And it shows up in marketing. So in my marketing, it showed up in the way where I only shared wins. It showed up in a way where I was only showing the aftermath, the after scenario, and keeping the middle, the messy, vulnerable middle, the places where I was still figuring things out, safely out of sight. And so my clients, how this will show up in their life is that they keep doing all the thought work. They keep doing all the mindset work, thinking that they cannot show the messy middle. They cannot show where they haven't perfectly figured it out. They cannot show their own struggles, and they have to keep that hidden. So some clients will not post. Some clients will post, but only show the curated version. But the clients who are watching you actually need to understand that you are human. People do not need a perfect version of you. I also remembered in the coaching session itself, I wouldn't share to my clients that I too was in the messy middle. I couldn't share with my clients that I too was still in the process of figuring out. I thought I needed to be at the end, so I wouldn't tell them the honest, vulnerable stories. And what this cost my audience and my clients is that they didn't see me as a person who was still working through it. They didn't see me as a human being. They could admire me, but they couldn't see themselves in me. They could admire what I had done, but they couldn't see that it was possible for them too. And the women who need our product, our marketing, our guidance need to know that they it's possible for them too, because you are also human. They don't need a perfect version. They don't need a curated version. They need the human version who has the middle, that hasn't figured everything out yet, that isn't perfect right now. And so for my clients, I show them this now more vulnerably than I used to. I have the honest conversations with my clients and I tell them the honest stories, and I'm working on doing the same thing in my marketing. And so if you have been punished your whole life for being a human being, an imperfect human being, then you would only show the finished versions. And so you'd only think that you had to be perfect. And so I show this to my clients. And so, for example, for me, I am in the middle of my health journey. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2023, and I'm still going through that journey. And I have some wins and I have some disappointing times. And so I used to think, well, maybe I shouldn't be sharing that. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about it. But now I've decided I'm going to be sharing it. I'm going to share with my clients my thought, feeling, action when I get a disappointing experience, or when I try go for a goal and it doesn't work out, or when I try to that marketing campaign that didn't work, that launch that didn't work, because that middle is where I am, and that middle is what makes me human. And so my clients will think that they have to be perfect because that's the thought that I believed. Because sometimes we look at people who are further along from us and we think they're perfect. But if we really listen, they will tell us their honest struggles. See, not everybody's going to hit their goals. Not everybody's going to get the outcome that they want. Not everybody's going to have this perfect curated life. And that's the real version that people want to see you walking and want to know that their lives are normal. And so for me, I have chosen to start talking about it. I have chosen to start telling my stories. Like I said, in not only my coaching, but also in my marketing, because that's what people need to see, that humanity. And so when we paint this perfect version, it actually makes people think that you are a unicorn, and they're not, because they know that they're human. But when you show your humanity, your messy middle, your struggles, your honest experiences, your honest mistakes, your honest experiences, and then hold yourself with so much love and compassion, you teach the people how to do the same. So, for example, I was hiding behind my credits, my credentials, my coach certification, my MBA, my degrees. I would, and I thinking for the longest time that I needed more degrees, and in fact, more certifications. In fact, I have four certifications, and so that I thought that would make me more relatable. I thought that would make me more credible. I thought that would make people understand what I was talking about more. But I started to realize that actually my honesty, my vulnerability, my messy middle, my imperfection is why people will relate to me more. And I've noticed I'm seeing it more in my coaching. And as I said, I'm doing it more in my marketing, because being 2 to 3 steps ahead is so much more powerful than being the person who's figured it out. So if you're watching this and you thought that you had to be perfect, I want to normalize the imperfection. You just need to be 2 to 3 steps ahead and be willing and vulnerable enough to say so. So here I want to call you to let you know, say your truth. Show your vulnerability, show your middle. You can choose. So a lot of people come to me, and I actually do this. I'm still through some trauma healing stuff. You don't have to share that. You don't have to share your trauma. You don't have to share things that you haven't healed yet. But if you've healed them, show it. People want to see it. Enough that the women and the people that you're supporting, who are watching you, can say, she's talking to me, she's talking about me. I had that experience myself. So if the fear of appearing imperfect, or appearing to fail, or appearing to be vulnerable has been keeping you from showing up as the full version of yourself, you, my dear, are working harder and longer than you need to. You, my dear, are over functioning in ways that you cannot see. So take my quiz. It's called What's Really Driving Your Overworking. It will show you areas that you might not even have been aware of. The link is in my bio. My name is Ruth Duren. I'm a certified life coach, master coach trained in MBA, and I'm the life coach for immigrant businesswomen. And I help them identify unconscious ways where they're overfunctioning, overworking, and robbing themselves of the success that they want. If you love my support, I'd love to support you. I'll see you in my next video. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.